As Labor Day nears, many of us see work as a necessary grind. But what if that perspective is fundamentally wrong? The Bible's biggest surprise about work. It's not a curse. It existed in the Garden of Eden, before sin entered the world. This idea was so radical, it upended the ancient world. While pagan cultures often scorned labor, early Christians celebrated it. They understood something we've largely forgotten, that our work has a divine dignity, regardless of the job title. In the next few minutes, we'll reclaim this original blueprint and see how it can transform your job into a divine calling. Let's go back to the beginning. In Genesis, God is the first worker. He then gives Adam the job of cultivating the garden, not as a chore, but as a fulfilling role in a perfect world. The fall didn't introduce work. It introduced the frustration in work, the thorns and thistles. This is the source of our modern feeling of toil, but the work's goodness was never erased. This foundation shatters the sacred versus secular divide. Christian theology says any honest job can be a way to glorify God. In Hebrew, the word for work, avodah, is linked to serving and stewardship, meaning both work and worship. In ancient Hebrew thought, these weren't separate categories. Diligent, purposeful work was considered a form of praise. So, if all work can be sacred, how does that change our approach to our careers? It starts with the difference between a job and a calling. A job is a task you are paid for. It can be temporary. A calling is a deeper, lifelong purpose to use your God-given talents to serve. They are not the same thing. This distinction is freeing. It means a bad job doesn't mean you've lost your purpose. But this raises a huge question. How do you actually find this calling? Before we answer that, we need to grasp an even bigger idea. Theology teaches that your work is one of the primary ways God cares for His world. Your job is not just for you. It's an invitation to partner with God in His ongoing work of sustaining and redeeming creation. Your daily tasks are part of a cosmic plan. How can mundane tasks feel meaningful? Christian faith provides an inner spiritual power, grounding your identity in Christ, not your job title. This stops ego inflation and despair in failure. This internal anchor then produces external fruit. It becomes a moral compass, guiding you to act with honesty and respect, providing ethical substance in morally vacant workplaces. This is not just about ethics, it's about excellence. A key Christian principle is the ministry of competence. Performing your job with skill is a primary way to honor God. History is filled with examples. Florence Nightingale saw nursing and statistics as her divine service. R.G. Letourneau revolutionized earth-moving equipment, seeing his business as a way to fund God's work. George Washington. Carver transformed agriculture, believing God hid secrets in the peanut for the good of humanity. These figures show the immense potential of faith-integrated work. But this high view of work also comes with clear warnings. It is easy to get this wrong. First, let's correct the Protestant work ethic. The idea that hard work itself earns God's favor is a distortion. The true Christian ethic is working because you are saved. This leads to the second danger: workaholism. When work becomes your primary source of identity, it has become an idol, damaging your health, family, and relationship with God. The built-in protection against this is the divine rhythm of work and rest. The Sabbath is not a sign of laziness. It is a command and a gift, modeled by God Himself. Rest is an act of faith. It declares that God is in control, not our effort. It is essential for our well-being and a guard against the idolatry of work. So, back to finding your calling. God's will for your work is less like a specific dot on a map and more like a direction. He's more concerned with how you work. Let's bring this all together. Remember the idea of work in Eden? The ministry of competence is our modern reflection of that original design. using skills to bring flourishing. And because there's no sacred secular divide, the workplace itself becomes a primary mission field. Your desk is where you are strategically placed to represent Christ. Seeing your work as a partnership with God frees you from the pressure of finding the one perfect job. You can fulfill your calling in the direction you are heading. This integrated view transforms everything. Work is no longer just a paycheck. It becomes an act of worship, a partnership with God, and a service to others. So this Labor Day, as we rest from our work, we can also celebrate its true meaning. This perspective shows our labor is not an evil, but a divine gift with profound purpose. We have seen that work was part of God's perfect plan, that all honest labor has dignity, and that our jobs are a primary way we partner with God in His care for the world. Imagine heading into work next week not just as an employee, but as an ambassador, a steward, and a co-worker with God Himself. That is the power of this viewpoint. To find more resources on integrating your faith and work, visit ChristShare. Share this video with someone who needs to see their job in a new light.